Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and today, thanks to Bond Group in Waltham, Massachusetts, we get the pleasure of driving this 2014 Jaguar F-Type V8S. 2014, can you believe this car is a 2014? It's gorgeous. This has stood the test of time, and it has a 5-liter supercharged V8 making 495 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque transmitted through an 8-speed automatic, barking outrageously loud out of those quad exhaust tips with snaps, crackles, and pops, which in period sounded absurd. But look, people caught on. The BMW world caught on, and everyone did burble tunes on their cars, and now suddenly this sounds less showboaty, and I don't want to say sophisticated, but it makes more sense. Oh my goodness, this car is gorgeous, and it just locked itself. The key, Jaguar on the key, but oddly, because this is obviously a Land Rover key, it has an SUV on it. It's a little disappointing. You want to have your E-Type successor spoken for at every angle, but I guess the key was not one of these things. So let me show you around, and then we're just gonna go for a drive. These door handles are kind of outrageous. They pop out, but what I love about them is they still feel like door handles. Porsche, for example, the new 911 door handles, it ain't it. It's not for me. Interior, oh, green over tan. You can say that's played, but for a British sports car, look, I know it was owned by Tata at the time, but green over tan for a British sports car never gets old. This is the appropriate spec. It's cozy. It's a proper little sports car. There's not many of these anymore, and we've got to respect when someone gives us one. So we've got a soft top convertible. We've got luggage space in the boot. Not a lot, honestly. This is a very shallow trunk space. But what's cool about this is that you get a little spoiler, and that comes up. It's mounted to the trunk. A little strange, but it is what it is. Normally, I think the rear 3/4 is the best look of a lot of cars, but on the F-Type, this perspective straight on at the rear of this gives you the full perspective of its width and those hips. It's got these beautiful lines, and these taillights with their sort of like semicircular taillights look really good. It's starting to look more ND Miata to me, honestly, the more I look at it, but I'll tell you, the bark that comes out of this is not ND Miata. Check out the quad tips, big ol' exhaust, and this voluptuous diffuser. Oh, gluing us to the road, mounted to 20-inch wheels. Up front, we have a 255 section tire, and in the rear, a 295 section tire, scrambling for its life when all of this torque is thrown at it. Let me show you under the hood. Like its E-Type predecessor, it opens this direction, although we don't get the entire front of the car landing on the ground like you would on an E-Type. But there it is, shrouded in plastic, probably the same 5-liter V8 that you'd get in a Land Rover. But it's barking mad, it's fun to drive, and here I am just telling you, we're gonna go for a drive in this car. You don't need the R, you can go for a V6 with a manual transmission, but this V8S, this might be the sweet spot in these sort of depreciated sports cars, because at the time, people were a little weird about these. They were 3,700 pounds. It seemed like, well, that's heavy for a sports car. The sound and emotion you get out of it is really what sells the car. But if you were looking for a light, nimble sports car, this probably wasn't it. But we get past the numbers, just the way I got past the numbers on Audis when they were testing like E92s and C63 AMGs, and then the RS4 comes along. It never felt like the RS4 could really hold a candle to the other cars, but when you get in them and drive them, suddenly they speak for themselves. So let's start it up. We have our great little center console, very simple buttons, our engine start stop in bronze, a 200-mile-per-hour speedometer. Our HVAC system rises out of the dashboard. Who knows what that means for longevity in the future, but for now, it's pretty nice. It's 94 degrees out today. I am quite hot. We have our exhaust on. Let me turn it off first. We'll give it a couple revs. Turn it on. Yeah, how do you not love that? This is what you need in your life. Let's be realistic. We all think we're going to be driving around in Caterhams, Miatas, Ariel Adams, I don't know, just little lightweight crazy sports cars. But this is a beast for the highway, for the streets, for the beach, and you could daily drive it and bring it to the office. This also comes equipped with a Meridian sound system. Now, Meridian is probably my favorite sound system outside of the Mark Levinson and Lexus. There's other things out there, but in this realm, those two are king, and this Meridian sound system is absurd. You're gonna love it. To put it in drive, we've got our very familiar Jaguar Land Rover shifter. Down here, we have a wet and snow mode. We have a dynamic racer mode. We've got traction off, our exhaust loud button, our eco mode, which we're not going to be using, and our little wing spoiler can go up here. We can put our roof up and down pretty darn quickly. Nice little soft top. Got the windows up for noise. Let's see how she gets off the line. Off the line with a bit of wheel spin. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love this car. This is fun. We gotta do another one of those. That was genuinely entertaining. Just leave it in drive. So it allows for some slip, but it's not like a big smoky burnout. It's just letting me enjoy a raucous sports car with a big engine. This is perfect. Oh. And then look, it dials it all down. You just hear that delicious rumble. It reminds me of driving like a GM sports car where you've got a Corvette, and after you've just wound it out through 3 gears, it just has this 1500 RPM idle kind of crawling down the street that just lets you know that there's a monster lurking beneath the surface. It's fun to just let off the throttle though, because you hear all of this insanity just exploding out of this exhaust. That is not subtle. Okay. Jag, you're fun. You're a good time. Upshifts. Oh my goodness. It's rowdy. How does it look so elegant but behave like this? Oh, I'm having the best time. Oh my god, I'm an F-Type believer. I drove one a while back and I liked it a lot, but like right now, I think I'm having a lot more fun than I did even then. it's a little louder than it is fast. You know, when you straight pipe a Miata, it's not quite like that, but it's waking the dead right now, and I'm not even going 35 miles an hour. That is super fun. There's a little older brother. I don't know, man. We forget about Jag. It's easy to forget about Jag. We think of them as vintage cars, not necessarily as current, exciting platforms to drive in. But for 2014, I mean, this is 10 years old. It looks phenomenal. It sounds like this. It's a people pleaser if I ever felt one. It just puts me in a good mood. It doesn't need to be the fastest around a racetrack. It doesn't need to be a track star. It's agile enough. It feels really nice and stable. The benefit of having a 3,800 pound car is that on the highway, it's going to be pretty happy to just sit at 70 to 100 miles an hour and drive and drive and drive. You can put the top up if you don't want to get sunburned, but today, I'm going to enjoy this for what it is. I wish you could just pull both paddles and throw it in neutral, but that'll have to do. Like I'm in GTA right now. There's jets taking off right over me. I've got a rowdy V8 echoing off the walls. Oh, life's okay, even though it's 95 degrees outside. The nice thing about this car is the suspension is pretty compliant. I mean, everything's relaxing and easy, and this is a good daily driver sports car that doesn't beat you up. It feels like a car in every other way, but the fact that it has this barking powertrain makes you feel real special. I'm having a really good time. I kind of thought this was a throwaway, and it's not. It's fantastic. We live in such a Porsche-centric car enthusiast world where if you didn't buy a 911, you just wasted your money. Why would you buy this instead of that? Well, I gotta tell you, I've driven a lot of 911s. 911s are great, but this has a real special place in my heart because it's mixing this European Grand Touring experience with what feels like kind of an American muscle powertrain. This is like a Mopar Jag. This is so much fun. And I think you get away with more because it looks like this. I think people, they hear this car, and if you were in a Camaro or a Corvette, they'd think you were being a maniac, that crazy dude down the street. But because this is an F-Type and it's so pretty, people are like, wow, I didn't know that's what those sounded like. I just want to live in dynamic mode. It's good. And it's fast. I mean, we got like 500 horsepower, so certainly law-breaking power, but It's loud, which means you don't actually have to break the law to enjoy it. Like a 911, for example, a GT3, it sounds best at 9,000 RPM, which means you gotta rev it out to 9,000 RPM. Now in second gear, that's already like 80 something miles per hour. So you're gonna be in trouble. Whereas in this, you can hang around in low gears and play this game, and I don't care whose radar detector is on you, you're not getting caught because you didn't do anything. Now the old days you'd get an inline 6 or a V12. That's how Jag E-types came. Those days are gone. You're getting a V6 or a V8, and I think the V8's even dead now. I mean, this car is a little long in the tooth just because it's like an R35 GTR. It's been out forever, but the design is pretty timeless. So we have to really applaud Jag for designing a successor to an icon, one of the most beautiful cars ever made, and it holds up. It looks the part. Jigsaw? You like a scary lady who kills people for not being good? Torque, baby! Go hunt down a Tesla. Oh, and it handles. It handles. All right, guys. This has been enlightening. This is the sports car for like the everyman. I mean, sure, could it use a stick shift? That'd be great. That'd be lovely, but doesn't need one. This 8-speed, it behaves enough. It's not a modern ZF feel. It's not a PDK. But you don't need it to be because you've got torque. Torque solves problems. And it's comfy, it's cozy, it's fun, it's stylish, it's loud, it's emotional. And best of all, it's probably pretty safe. Honestly, you go drive this thing pretty quickly places and enjoy it. Are you gonna go beat your friends at the local racetrack with it? No. No, 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 no. But that's not what it's for. It's for fun. So, if you're looking to just buy yourself a car for fun, this might be on your list. And it might not have been on your list because this wasn't on my list. But now I'm like, you know what? This is a good time. Rear wheel drive, V8, 500 horsepower, shouting exhaust. Let's go. In the convertible, you got to get a convertible because if you don't do a convertible, you don't get the full experience. So thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I have probably lost 3 pounds in sweat. It is very, very hot, but worth every drop. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. Look at the font size on this tachometer. That's designed for Mr. Magoo. If you need the font that big to see the tach, you probably shouldn't be driving. Those are some big numbers, man.